Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live, talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynn at pghcitypaper.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
I heard someone call my name. Hello, how are you? I'll try to wake up. Welcome to Tuesday, November 20th. The crowd is thinning as people make their holiday plans and travels, and I could park downtown today. And my sister Susan is joining us because it's Tuesday. Hi, Suze.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. The dog is sitting in front of me going, when we going, when we going, when we going.
Uh-oh. Well, are you? So you're heading to Green Bay after this?
Immediately thereafter.
Okay.
The suitcases are packed.
Okay.
We're, aside from taking the stuff that I'm bringing out of the freezer, everything's ready to go. We're going to load the car and leave.
Yep. So joining that caravan on the road. I hope the traffic's not too horrendous.
Don't say caravan, Lynn. We'll be turned back at the Wisconsin border.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that caravan, by the way? Oh, God.
It seems like a judge has just issued a restraining order telling them that they can't wholesale deny any of them to come in.
Right. They have to give them a hearing and then deny them the right.
These pesky judges.
Unbelievable.
They're having a lot of trouble with pesky judges. And I've actually been giggling all morning because as disgusting as the news is, it's sort of funny with Ivanka and her emails.
How's that? It's beyond comprehension.
And then Trump is claiming ignorance of the email rules. I mean, oh, she didn't know. She didn't know.
Lock her up.
Like he doesn't know about his iPhone. Lock her up. So what's humorous is watching all of these people on the comment lines tie themselves in knots, parsing why Ivanka is different.
Oh, sure. I know. It has to do with the
somebody claims
server.
She's not in the government.
Oh, sorry. She's a major. Oh, I don't even want to. I mean, I can't.
No, I'm just telling you how far these people will tie their intestines up in knots to deny what is in front of their face. I mean, I think this is the most, I know people are doing studies on it. I think we've talked about it. But I think the ability of these people to excuse all of this stuff when they just come back and stand in front of them naked as they can be, and they're commenting about the gorgeous brocade on Ivanka's back. I don't get it.
Well, apparently, Susan, it's human nature. That's what's so frightening. You can't have all these people doing it and not have it be human nature.
No, I know, but it's just shocking to me that there's this whole group of people parading their psychosis around without embarrassment.
Well, because they've got so much company. I mean, when you're in a big crowd and everybody's agreeing with you, you don't have to be embarrassed, right?
Well, I guess, but I got news for these folks. You're all out there naked, and you don't look good.
No, you don't. So the science section of the New York Times today is asking certain questions that for the future, and one of the questions asked is, can we outsmart fake news? And they're talking about the fact that it is, well, I'll read one sentence, and it has to do with what you're talking about. Mass manipulation is about to get a whole lot easier. So, if these people can all be manipulated to believe things that are categorically untrue, to disregard things they don't, it's only going to get worse because
we're getting better at it.
No, and artificial intelligence.
That's what I mean.
Because technology will allow photographs to be altered in a way that is literally not observable, and so they'll be able to pass off things that are I'm saying categorically again, that are patently false, and voice, Siri and those god awful, talking machines are going to be sounding exactly like human beings. We're going to be in a situation where we really won't be able to believe anything we see or hear. Mass manipulation is about to get a whole lot easier.
I mean, you might be able to believe what you see unfolding around you 2 feet in front of you.
Right, but that doesn't have the reach of the video of whatever you saw altered. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree. No, I do. I get it.
Okay, here's what this thing ends with. Perhaps the only way to stop this misinformation is to somehow teach people to view what they see online with extreme distrust. But that might be but that's not going to happen because all the psychologists
No, but I mean,
say,
it's like when you go to a movie and you don't expect that what you're watching, you know that what you're watching is a piece of fiction. We have got to begin to just approach everything we're reading in certain places that way.
But see, that's what Trump's people already do.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't already do
well,
that.
No,
They've
but they do.
identified a source that they trust without, I mean, we'll just use Fox News. They've got Fox News, and they trust implicitly anything
but
that
we
Fox
all
News
do.
says.
You know, we all, and they just happen to be trusting somebody that's feeding them a lot of crap.
No, I don't feel that way anymore, and neither do you. I've heard you talk. I mean, we used to feel like that we could trust the New York Times. You don't feel that way anymore.
No.
I don't necessarily feel that I can trust the Washington Post. I can see its bias. So, I've got to read everything with a
skeptical,
a little drop of, okay, let's just try and glean the fact here.
Well, the fact is,
we all have to do it.
I know,
we
but
have
it's
to
not
do it
going
on
to.
both
Susan,
sides.
people are not going to do it because they, first of all, they don't trust that they know enough to make that decision themselves. That's why all these, people like Rush Limbaugh and can have such power. People now just expect to be told what to think. And what's real and what's not. And I think the vast majority of people are easily manipulated, including maybe me. I don't know. Easy for me to say I'm not, but I don't.
Well, sure you are. I can get your anger, from 0 to 50 easily.
Don't.
No, but I'm saying you are manipulatable.
Yeah. Actually, my son would say I'm easy. Right. All right. Well, damn. Susan, apropos of absolutely nothing, I was stuck at a red light on the way here, and my car was across from a little tailor shop, and it had a sign in the window, and I didn't know what it meant, and I'm going to ask you. It said, "We do New York hems."
I'm sorry, I left New York in 1980.
So you don't know.
I
what
don't
the
know.
hell could that be?
Well, I know what blue jean hems are. If they replaced, the original blue jean hem the way it was, but I do not know
what
would
a New York
hem is.
be. I'm just asking. If anyone can find out, that'd be good. What the hell would that be?
I think all you have to do is use the Google.
Use that Google thing. I don't have my stuff right here, but someone will do it for me maybe. Anyway, we do New York hems. I thought, well, goody for you, but what the does that mean? I don't. Susan, I already did this yesterday, and I said it twice on the show, but I have to repeat it for you just in case you didn't see this. The funniest tweet of the year. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Joe in West Virginia. He wrote, "Unpacked our nativity scene yesterday. Removed all the Jews, Arabs, and foreigners. ended up with
The only thing that's left are two asses.
Jackass and a handful of sheep.
Yeah.
You saw it. Okay.
It's been around for a while.
All right. That's the thing now. You're afraid to share anything because, I
saw that 3 years ago.
All right. Well, that's not. No, you didn't see that one 3 years ago because this is pointed.
Because this. No, but I have been seeing it for a while. But it is. It's very clever. There's a ton of this stuff that's very clever, and it's very funny. And it's funny because our president is so hilarious, if you know what I mean. I mean, there's just too much material out there. So if you want to look at it and be amused, like I was this morning, you can't help it.
Okay.
I mean, and it's easier than thinking that there were two.
Susan.
That I've been living, today in say yesterday, Chicago and St. Louis. It's just ridiculous.
I have to tell you, I didn't hear a word you said because I'm reading an email about New York hymns.
Okay, tell me what it is.
Well, it does have something to do with jeans, also known as the super hem. Often used to hem jeans while leaving the original hem in place.
Yeah, that's just called a jeans hem. They just gave it a new name.
Okay, wait. To create a New York hem, you simply turn the hem up, right sides facing you. Sure, the original. Oh, fuck it. Cut off excess fabric, then press the new hem down, put a top stitch over. Okay, more than I wanted to know.
Yeah, you just cut it off and put it back so it looks original and not like you have stubby little legs or like they decided that everybody has legs that are 15 inches longer than they actually are. They're doing that now with women in sleeves, if you've noticed. Apparently, we're supposed to have arms that hang down below our knees.
I sort of do, so it's okay with me. I've always.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm now buying like beautiful sweaters, but I have to roll them. I have one that I have to roll up 12 inches to get it to my wrist, so I can eat.
Well, that seems absurd.
Well, it is absurd.
Okay, so moving on to something maybe you haven't already seen. There have been 5 mass extinctions on this planet, as far as we know, where pretty much every living thing is wiped out. Like, we're aware of, like, the dinosaur one. That's the one closest to us. But there have been others going back. I mean, we're talking 440 million years ago, where, the first one. But there were these mass extinctions, and then somehow life starts again. And the reason this is coming up, of course, is that there's some concern.
That we're facing another, yes.
Yeah. Because if you look at the number of species that are going down in the last, 20 years, it's extraordinary. So the science section, again, looked at, there has to be some survivors of these mass extinctions. And here's over the few species that are believed to have survived millions of years, hundreds of millions of years, and through some mass extinctions are sharks, deep water sharks.
Yeah, I was going to say fish. Yeah, fish.
Down, way down, but not all fish because the ocean's warm or
right.
Things have.
Right.
Okay, crocodiles.
Because they're too mean to die.
And some birds. They're just prehistoric. I don't know.
No, they're just dinosaurs that were more adaptable.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that I would have left out crocodiles because I would have thought of them as being sort of halfway in between birds and fish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But anyway, but there's one thing. There is one living thing that has survived all 5 mass extinctions and will probably survive the next one. And you've never heard of this
bacteria, right?
Yeah, well, it's some little friggin' thing. It's called listen
it's
to
like
this.
A protozoa.
No, it's so funny looking. It's called a tardigrade, Tardi, a tardigrade. It has.
Yeah, I saw that. He's sort of cute.
He is sort of cute. He has 8 legs, and he's microscopic.
And a great big eye.
And listen, he's got like one big eye in the middle of his head, and it says, if a man makes...
He looks like a minion, folks. He looks like a minion with more legs.
Excuse me?
You don't know what a minion is?
I know what a minion is, but how many people in the audience do? So why even say that?
No, see, you don't know what a minion. You don't know what a minion is.
Oh, M-I-N-I-O-N. What do you mean? M-I-N-Y-A-N?
No, I'm talking about the movie
a little,
character with one eye. I'm
okay.
not talking about enough Jews to pray.
Okay, but that's what you said. That's what I thought you meant. You said minion, and I thought, what the hell is she talking about? Okay. Jesus. Okay, but listen to what these guys can survive. They can survive. They can even live in the vacuum of space, it says. They can withstand radiation. It doesn't matter what you throw at them, these little minion-like tardigrades will be the last one standing. So there you have it. They don't really stand, I don't think, but there you have it. So, here's what I want to know. If California is like this has a rich economy and has good government and all that kind of stuff, why the hell are there people still living in parking lots, cars, and tents? Do you know what I mean? What?
Yeah, because because the housing stock is, well, first of all, because whole towns are disappearing.
Well, I know, but I'm saying with these survivors, I mean, there's not better, and apparently in the in some of the shelters, I mean, you have like raging epidemics of some kind of nanoviruses and stuff like that. People are sick, being taken to hospitals. There are no rooms at the inn, literally in a huge radius, because people who can afford to or have insurance that allows them to stay in a hotel if their house is destroyed.
And the insurance isn't popping right up right away either. I mean, there's a huge difference between people who have lost everything but nonetheless still have the means to get themselves out of there, and people that have lost everything and don't have the means to get themselves out of there, and that's probably a lot of those folks. I mean, senior citizen communities were wiped out, and some of those folks are okay, and some of them live on, pensions and Social Security. So where are they going to go? I mean, this is a real humanitarian crisis brought on by they had a crisis anyway. They couldn't house all their people because the real estate was too expensive.
So I just I
don't
know. And now
had a homeless problem with or without this.
Now they're being warned that there's going to be with all this rain coming in, which you would think it'd be good because it'd douse some of the flames.
Yeah, but now they're going to have
mudslides. Jesus. Sort of takes that image of California as some, wondrous
specific place.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Gee whiz, how much more people.
And I mean that with a small p.
Yes. I did get that too. So I think something really extraordinary happened yesterday, and I don't have the exact wording of it. This message sent from the White House press secretary's office about new rules during press briefings, whether it's the president or whether it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
What's the new rule? You have to submit your questions in advance.
Don't laugh, Susan, because that'll be next. No, you are allowed a single question.
No follow-up.
No follow-ups allowed.
Well,
now,
then
stop
the
and
press
think what that
simply has
means.
To,
Stop
the
and think what that
next person
means.
has to stand up.
Well, stop. So here's what that means is that you ask a question, they don't answer it or answer it with a lie, and then everybody moves on. This is getting so frighteningly autocrat, exactly what happens when a country's freedoms and most foundational freedoms, like freedom of the press, when they start reining in the press like this, and just openly, just saying, there's never, I mean, it's beyond belief. So then people say, well, fine, then the next reporter should ask the same question again.
Right.
And then the next reporter. But here's the thing. The media is not all of one mind, so all they have to do is call on one of their kind of
people.
Right, one of their kind of reporters. And there's no way. I don't know what they're going to. Oh, I think Milton sent me the memo. Here it is. This is what comes out. This came out of the White House yesterday. Please be advised of the following rules governing future press conferences. A journalist called upon to ask a question will ask a single question and then will yield the floor. 2, at the discretion of the president or other White House official taking questions, a follow-up question or questions may be permitted, where they want them. And where a follow-up has been allowed and asked, the questioner will then yield the floor. 3, yielding the floor includes physically surrendering the microphone to White House staff. 4, failure to abide by any of these rules may result in suspension or revocation of the journalist's hard pass. This, as they made a big to-do about giving back Jim Acosta's. Okay, so they are hamstringing the ability of these reporters to cover these press conferences. I really just think they should. I've been saying this almost since the beginning. They should just not come, not be there. There's
That's
no
what I think.
Why
should they participate in this sham?
Right. There's next to no information that comes out of.
No, they don't get anything out of it, and so why not just go ahead and say the president has forfeited his right to put his viewpoint out there. We'll interview everybody else.
God.
See who goes to their knees first. Just stop reporting.
It's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. I don't see how reporters can tolerate this. I mean, you can't agree to be part of a sham, as you said. You just can't. This is the friggin' United States of America. Is there any vestige of it left? God.
No, and it's all it's the gun people who are so concerned with their Second Amendment rights that walked right over the First Amendment to get to the Second Amendment. And they're up there, screaming, "Oh, Acosta's rude. There's no right to be rude."
Oh. He's rude, and the president of the United States calls, a congressman
is an ignoramus.
Adam shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. I just, I might be heading for another breakdown here. And did you see? There's not going to be a comedian at the White House press corps.
Oh no, a woman broke it. A woman broke it. That Michelle Wolf came in and destroyed everything. And now instead they're going to be lectured by a historian on the First Amendment. Too bad the president. Oh, that's going to be a laugh riot.
Too bad the president won't be there.
No, The
to hear it.
The president isn't welcome anywhere.
He doesn't want to do any of this stuff. He doesn't.
No, I know. He doesn't want to go to the Kennedy honors.
The
That's
only
boring,
thing
but,
he wants to do is do his rallies where he gets to be adored. And I saw a line he said at a recent rally where he said, this place isn't big enough to hold all of us. He's always telling people that there are like 5,000 more people outside who can't get in, which is often not true. I mean, it's not often. It's always not true. And he said we might have to build some bigger arenas. I mean, this guy he must look at like old video of Hitler rallies and
get excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think he's masturbating to him at this point.
Yeah, he wants that. And let's.
I gotta say, I understand this. I mean, it's on a much smaller scale, but when I was on the school board and I got plenty of, I was good at public speaking. I got plenty of applause, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And there was plenty of conflict and public debate going on, and I enjoyed the hell out of that too. And I realized at some point that you get addicted to it. And then I watched my husband do it as he got involved in the political workings of his professional association. And I watched him get addicted to it too. So at least I knew I was looking at what I was looking at, and I could kind of school him through it. But that's exactly what's happening to our president. Has happened to our president. He's addicted to it. It's not hard to understand.
Well, he's always been addicted.
Easier to get addicted to than nose drops. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but he's always been addicted to it. Recall.
Well, he came pre-addicted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the one who called up tabloids in New York City pretending to be somebody else and telling them about, did you hear that Donald Trump,
Yeah, how great Donald Trump is. Let me tell you about Donnie Trump.
Yeah, talking about, did you hear he, like almost, or like he slept with Prince Diana or something. That's like Princess Diana.
Yeah, I know, but the joke was the people on the other side of the phone always knew it was Donald Trump. The guy is just an embarrassment.
Yeah, he's such an embarrassment.
We wouldn't know these stories.
It worked. How is that it worked? He's the fucking president of the United States. This total, yeah. I can't take it. Okay.
I know. As I said to the Polish workman yesterday who was in my daughter's kitchen, who told me he moved here from Canada to be with his current wife, and I said,
"Wrong move.
You're a fool."
Yeah.
Take your wife and go back to Canada. You're nuts.
Wrong direction. Did he understand what you were saying?
He did. He started laughing.
Okay. Well, Barbara reminds me of the quote that that Admiral McRaven, the Navy
oh boy,
the Navy SEAL who Trump now has
yeah.
disparaged.
He did this nicely. Go ahead, read it.
What he sent to CNN on Sunday. This is what got him. He said, "I stand by my comment that the president's attack on the media is the greatest threat to our democracy in my lifetime." And understand, this is the guy who went after Osama bin Laden. He thinks Donald Trump is more of a threat. And he's a Navy fucking SEAL.
And he thinks that guy should have killed him sooner, faster, more, harder. I mean, he's just been making fun of him, as if I can't stand it. But McRaven says, when you undermine the people's right to free press and freedom of speech, then you threaten the Constitution and all for which it stands. So this guy has it right,
And Donald Trump is the greatest threat to this country. And the haters
and
he's
those
unleashing.
that stand behind him are
right,
also.
And you see the influx in hate crimes. Influx. Democracies rarely fall because of outside threats. It's not the way democracy dies. Democracies always die from the inside.
From within.
And we got some serious illness in ours. We're getting sicker by the minute.
No, we really do. I mean, we've discussed this now for 2 years, that the thing that gets us both is that a thought that we never had before in our lives, that our country could just crumble, is clear.
I think
our country could just crumble.
Yeah, I think it's, well, I'm a pessimist by nature. I think could is not the right word.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think we're seeing it end. We're seeing it die. I mean, most of us don't want to, but maybe that was true of other democracies, but you don't know what to do. And I don't know. I feel like I'm getting sick, Susan. This is not good timing.
You sound like it. I know. I'm a little upset about this.
I know.
Drink a hot toddy.
Well, I want to say
got a day to get better.
I don't know. My chest is aching. That's never a good sign. My breath is short. My asthma's kicking in. Not good, I don't think.
Look on the bright side. Maybe you're having a panic attack.
No, I'm not. I swear. I just
you
really, I don't
up.
feel good. Yeah. I might be setting the stage not to be showing up tomorrow here, I'll tell you that. I'm not, I was going to be here tomorrow, but I'm feeling not great. Anyway, Susan, there's a piece in the New York Times today that I could have written, and actually anyone who's listened to me over the years knows that I started saying the same things this woman is saying in her piece when it started happening to me. And what I'm talking about is
the menopause thing?
Yeah, perimenopause. And I remember saying back on my radio show, God knows how many, 20 years ago, easily 20 years ago, God, I remember saying at the very time that you need your eyes to be real good close up, is when they go. You can't see a damn thing close up. Right? And what is there to see?
I can't see it. You can still see better than me.
There are hairs growing out of our noses that were never doing that before.
Noses, right smack in the middle of your cheek. You can go to bed at night and wake up in the next morning and there's an inch-long white hair sticking out of your cheek that didn't used to be there.
I know, but worse than the inch-long white hair that shows up overnight is
the inch-long black hair. Yeah, that's
and
what's really
those
ugly.
Tend to be like thick, and I got one that comes right here for anybody watching, right here, and now I'm on it. Because
where are you pointing to? The bottom of your chin?
Yeah. Not by the hair.
Well, that's where they always come.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin. And I remember when I first saw that hair, that's when that nursery rhyme made sense. Not by the hair of my chinny chin.
Hair on my chinny chin. Well, here's the other thing. Because your eyes are failing and because you can't see, or I can't see, I invested in a brightly lit magnifying mirror so I could see my face to locate an eye for mascara and stuff. And that's when I found out that not only did you have the long hairs coming out, but suddenly your whole face
is fuzz.
Sported,
I know.
Had sprouted a whole layer of fur that did not previously
Are you
exist.
sure it didn't? Because then
no.
you see. Really?
It did not.
All right. And here's another thing that happens, and you don't know it.
Is anybody at home throwing up yet?
I can't see it. No, it is what is. But they don't ever it's not polite to talk about. Also, women who wear lipstick. All of a sudden, there's lipstick on your teeth. There never used to be lipstick on your teeth. Where does that come from?
Thank God I never had lips, so I don't have to give that one up.
Well, I mean, you get lipstick on your teeth that you don't know is there. You get, hair growing out of places that never did before. And this woman has written a piece.
Oh, and the other thing is your eyebrows. Your eyebrows that used to just be these little hairs that knew where to go, and it went there, suddenly become
wild
crazed and grow like crazy and curl up, and you become one of those grizzled old men.
I got one right.
They also droop all the way down the side of your face.
I got one right here that I actually play with. I love it.
I'm not watching you, so I don't know if you're being the illustration.
I let it get really long, and I like to play with it. Because, I always like playing with my eyebrows, Susan.
Well, you always played with your eyebrows.
I never sucked my thumb. I instead played with my eyebrows. So I get to play with my eyebrows again. I love that part. But listen to the first part of what this woman says. This was on the opinion page of the New York Times. So, okay? So it's sophisticated.
Right. So this conversation is classy. Go ahead.
It's better than talking about you-know-who.
Yeah, I do.
Everything I'm about to say is better than talking about you-know-who, and I'm about to talk about pubic hair, okay?
Yay, because I thought once when I was balding that maybe I'd just give myself a transplant, and then I decided no.
Oh, stop. This woman says people need to tell women, here's what's going to happen. Eventually, your pubic hair is going to thin out everywhere, but on the bikini line. Exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite of what you've always wanted.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
The fat
it's like having bad sideburns.
I know. The fat on your body will redistribute so that each of your thighs is the shape of the McDonald's blob monster. You will
well, that's not true in my case.
No.
Go ahead.
No. You will develop those wings of loose skin below your arms. Our brother used to call them Hadassah arms. Hadassah arms.
They're called high chains.
Oh, well, there's nothing you can do. So
they're really. I battled that one for years, but suddenly I got high chains too. Even though I can flex and it's all muscle, it just hangs.
No, it hangs because it's not muscle that's hanging; it's skin.
I know it's my damn skin. I am this completely buff body covered in old skin.
Right. Everything drops. Everything sags and everything dries up. That is what happens. So here's the thing. We make a big
But I did discover something, Lynn. Let me just interrupt. There is a cure. When I do Pilates and I bend over backwards and I'm hanging upside down, I look in the mirror.
You look
and
great.
I look great.
I know, right. I know.
I mean, it's astonishing. Everything goes back to where it used to be, and I frequently comment on it. I tell my trainer, I said, look at how gorgeous I look.
If you could just, live your life hanging upside down. I know.
Upside down.
Right. So, anyway, she goes on with other horrors that occur.
I mean, you notice we haven't even bothered to talk about hot flashes. Who cares?
Well,
you live your whole life at the wrong temperature after a certain point.
That's right. I actually had to get up last night and move to the other side of the bed because
it was too warm.
No, because I just sweat. This is all from this is being a woman of a certain age, but it starts in the 40s usually. And women aren't prepared. Nobody talks about it. Think of it, it's like reverse puberty. I mean, puberty,
Right.
you have a body, and then all of a sudden, it starts changing on you, and you get emotionally weirded out, right? Your hormones are going berserk. Your body is changing.
No, they're just disappearing.
Yeah, but you don't know who you are. And the same thing happens again on the other side. But
Right. Oh,
is
yeah.
is
Okay.
never talked about. And doctors
No,
never deal
but
with it.
this is, listen, women are fed a mythology about their lives from beginning to end. I hope it's getting better, but I talked about this with my first pregnancy when I felt like I had been so underprepared for for becoming a mother, for what that meant, for how I was supposed to react, and for whether the way I was reacting was appropriate or not. And thank God I was nice to myself, and I told myself I'd never done this before, so whatever I was feeling had to be appropriate. That's just it. But I ended up, and my husband thought he should. I ended up thinking I should write a book about this, because I thought that the second that you gave birth and you were handed a baby, you automatically just fell head over heels in love with that baby. And for me, that wasn't true. For me, I needed to get to know my baby. I liked it right away, but it took a while for me to fall in love, head over heels, and got easier and easier and easier and easier. But that beginning thing, I thought, oh my God, maybe there is something wrong with me. And let me tell you, the one thing a woman doesn't need when she's a new mother is to think that there's something wrong with her. It's hard enough as it is, but we women have been lied to about every stage of our life. We've been handed a mythology that does not go along with the facts of the case. In some cases, it does. In others, not so much.
Well, that explains
So the
why
fact
that explains why Mom recoiled when she saw me for the first time.
Yeah.
I still.
How do you know? Do you remember?
I sure as hell do. Why do you think I'm so fucked up? I do. She tells the story. Somebody told me the story. She thought I hadn't shed. Do you know that fetuses have hair on them, on their bodies?
You had hair on
I
you, right.
hadn't shed my fetal hair, and I came out looking like a chimpanzee, according to Mom. They showed her, here's your baby, and she like screamed. I'm just saying.
No wonder she kept putting you out on the front porch in January.
Oh my God. I don't know, but I feel sorry.
I'm
for
just
women.
saying, I've been on this kick now for a while because I just keep noticing all the lies I've been told by my life, by everything I've been told really isn't true.
Well, so welcome to the real world, right? So that's why, again, we teach our children things that are not true. We fail to teach them things they should know. Donald Trump is president, and people think he's fine. I mean, it's all a...
It's all a huge line of BS. I mean, my whole current anger at white men, and two more just went in and shot away two more people, one in St. Louis and one in Chicago yesterday. More white men doing this, and I've told you this my whole life. All of us, we've been taught, very carefully taught, to be afraid of black men.
The one in Chicago was that a white man
but
too?
In my life,
that was a white guy in Chicago?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sure was. What
he went
really
after a black woman, though. That's who is...
Yeah, that was his ex-fiancée, yes. Who was a resident doctor at that hospital, and she got rid of this guy. The only thing she did wrong was, apparently fall in love with the wrong guy, figured it out, got rid of him, and he took her out and a few other people, too. But, in my experience, the only people that I know of that have been harmful to me in any way have only been white men. But I was
your
never
point.
taught to be afraid of them. I was taught to please them.
Well, that's true.
And even figure out a way to go along with their abuse, to slide around it and in it and off of it and carefully and wittily get yourself out of it without in any way suggesting that that man was inappropriate. But I was never taught any of that.
No, nor was I. Well, we weren't.
We were taught other things. We were taught about other people to be afraid of, but not the ones who were actually in place to be of the most harm to us. And in fact, to both of us were. Can you deny that?
No, I mean, I'm thinking of, no. I mean, not that we want to get too specific or anything.
We don't want to get into it or any way, but I'm just saying that's not what I have been taught by my culture to be afraid of or to protect myself from. I was left totally defenseless from the people that were actually the ones that I needed to be careful with. And I was on my own.
Okay. This went to a very dark place. Remember when we were talking
I'm
about...
sorry, I didn't mean to do it, but you
remember
weren't
when we
feeling
were
well,
talking
and,
about chin
and
hairs?
That's what happened.
Okay. Can we go back to chin hair, pubic hair?
Oh, sure,
any kind of hair?
we got there from chin hair, but I'm just saying, okay, I'll go back to the cheerful part of it, but I'm just saying it's no surprise to me that we were left totally unprepared for this phase of our life.
Well, so I wonder what else we're unprepared
between any
for.
other phases of our life.
Yeah, I wonder what, I don't know. Jeez. You know, I just want to go to the dermatologist now, and you say, here's what it sounds like for me at the dermatologist. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? It's like things all over, you know, like things. Oh, that's just just unbelievable violations of the body that you once had.
I know. I'm currently trying out yet another CBD-laden, actually with some real THC in it too, salve that is a skin repairer that I'm hopeful will take care of some of those discolorations, skin flaps, and flukes.
Susan.
What?
Okay, I just want to say, your skin is not going to be repaired. It is doing what skin of a certain age does. That's all.
I know.
There's nothing.
I got it.
Okay, but that leads me to admit something that I was never going to tell you. But we have 10 minutes left, and I have nothing else I want to talk about.
Okay, tell me.
Well, first of all, we have a caller. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't you tell me first.
No, it'll take too long. Caller.
With Susan. I'm with Susan. Come on, Lynn, tell us.
No, it'll mean more to Susan.
Come on.
I fell. I don't know. I must have been drinking. I don't know. One night, not too long ago, on my computer, I fell for a face cream thing that was going to make me. That's what made me think of it, right? Okay. And it was a free trial offer. They were going to send me this stuff, and I just got to try it out. It was free. I signed up for it. The shipping was like,
and you had to give them a credit card for your free thing.
Yeah, I did because of the. Yeah, I did. I gave them a credit card. Then
and then they charged you every month thereafter.
Yes! All of a sudden, I'm looking at, and do you know what? Every month they said I signed up for a monthly. I got 2 jars, one for my eyes. It was going to make my eyes look beautiful.
What is this, Pericone MD?
I don't know what the fuck it was, but let me tell you.
Didn't work, though.
One of them, my credit card was $88 and $89 a month.
And then you had to pay shipping to return it.
I didn't return it. I called my credit card company and I said, I didn't. I was like screaming, freaking out. And this woman on the other end, I spent over 2 hours with her. She, with me in tow, called the company. And she wrote interference. She said, I have on the line my client who says that she did not see that fine print that said she was signing up. She thought she was getting a free. I felt like such an idiot, such a fool, a total moron. And I said, this can't be legal. This is an outrage. You can't, blah, blah, blah. And the woman on the other end said, I can give you 35% off. I can refund.
That's right. They won't cancel you. You have to go through like
I can refund 35%. I said, no, I want to talk to a supervisor. So we stayed on the line together, waiting for a supervisor. And the woman I was talking to was in Florida, and originally from Chicago. And then we ended up talking about the Cubs and the Bears and having a really good time together. And then they cut us off. They let us.
Of course they did.
They cut us off. So she says, what do you want me to do? I said, call him back. So she called him back. We got a different person. This person said, I can give you 50%.
Wow.
I said, oh, well, we want to talk to a supervisor. Maybe I can get it up to 75% if we talk to a supervisor. And lo and behold, the woman says, all right, we can do 75%.
What was wrong with a refund? 100% refund. You just don't want it anymore.
You know, after that, and then I we got to cancel my subscription to this snake oil for the rest of my life. And then I had them choose, is 75% enough, or do I want to continue this and go in for the entire? And I decided that what was left was what I rightfully should pay for being a moron. So 75% I did.
Wait a minute. So they're still billing you 25%?
No. I paid the initial charge. I went whatever 25% of 88 plus 89 is.
Okay.
So I got.
You better keep an eye on your bill, though.
Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. But I haven't done anything that stupid and embarrassing since 1967 when I bought. I sent away and spent over $100 that I did not have. I was a college student on something called a relaxicizer. And what this
there you go.
What this said is it will exercise your thighs while you're lying in bed. I thought, that's my kind of thing. Here's what, and it came, and you had to, with gel, hook yourself up, put these pads on your thighs. And I had a friend come over, and she had them on her thighs. I had them on mine. We plugged it in, and it shocked you. I mean, that's all. It shocked you so that your muscle contracted. And we started laughing so hard. We're rolling around on the floor, and our hands touched or something. And that completed the circuit. We almost electrocuted ourselves.
It's a stim machine. They have those stim things for, to heal your muscles, the physical therapy.
Yeah, but here's the rest of the story. About 10 years later, I was reading Newsweek or Time, and there was a story about a mental hospital somewhere in New England that had been raided by the government, and where people, they said, had been tortured, where the inmates had been tortured. And one of the main instruments of torture, they said, was something called a relaxicizer. Anyway, my father,
That's my sister.
my father bailed me out of that. He wrote an angry letter. We sent the relaxicizer back. They refused to pick it up at the post office and sent it back to me. It's still in the Evanston, Illinois post office, Susan, I think, the relaxicizer. I don't know. So I had been that taught me a lesson that lasted until about 3 weeks ago when I did this cream thing. Unbelievable. Don't ever think they're sending you. God, I said to the woman I was screaming at, is this your job? You just take calls from enraged people who thought they were getting a free sample? Oh.
I think magazines do that too. A subscription, they'll give you a free subscription, and then
I'll tell you who else does it, are gym memberships. Go ahead and try and cancel a gym membership.
Or a home food.
I got to jump in here, you guys.
Okay, what
you were talking about earlier about the line of bullshit that we are given from the time we're little girls. When you look at it, from the time we're little girls, it's the beautiful princess is good, the ugly witch is bad.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts. The brainwashing starts, and you don't. But with the boys and the men, it's don't show emotion. You don't cry. Boys don't cry. And this is how screwed up our society is. But I wanted to tell you guys one story. I had this beautiful backyard and this porch, and I watched the birds and sit out there, and I put some zinnias in, and the butterflies were wild. So a couple of years ago, I'm looking at the butterflies, and I have a curious mind, so I look up what kind of butterfly is that, and this and that, and I look at them, and there was one butterfly. I never saw this, but it was beautiful, and its like wings were like laced, and it was so hard, elusive for me to get a good look at it, so I could identify it. I just never saw a butterfly this beautiful with the wings that were like lacy. And I finally get a good look at the butterfly. It was like months before I could finally see what kind of butterfly this was. It was just an old beat up butterfly. it was just this old beat up butterfly. I mean, that butterfly was, man, I don't know what happened to it, but it was still the most beautiful butterfly. And here goes the moral to the story is we need to slow down with the brainwashing and think about it.
Right.
And
That's wonderful.
I'm an old woman, and I'm right now trying to learn to appreciate and love me. That's my big goal right now, is to learn to love myself like I am. No. This and we can thank, excuse me, man-child 45 for this, because I'm now saying, I mean, I've always been doing, I question it. No, what are you saying? Why? But this guy's such a blatant, flaming, over the top. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
People are believing his shit.
Okay,
So
I just want to say, wait. Okay, don't bring him in. We should have stopped where you said that beautiful butterfly was an old.
No. Just like this false body image that we poor women were brainwashed with.
Right.
And Susan, talking about dealing through life about these inappropriate white men that were just over the top, and how we are taught as brainwashed women to ease them, to get out of there, to stop, to kind of make it manageable, without even making them uncomfortable.
That's right.
That's right.
Our job is to please. Our job is to please.
Humor and charm. That's right.
Please and charm.
Without them even, with almost like that Southern woman thing. You know what I mean? My God, what that? Step away and say, no, this is just insanity here. No, we're not. Hell no. So I'm learning, you know what? We are beautiful. We're the most beautiful butterfly in the garden.
Well, I want to say that is the greatest. Thank you. And we're out of time, but that was a great story. Thank you. A true metaphor.
You guys. Hey, Lynn, yesterday, I got to say, yesterday was the best of Lynn Cullen. I'm just saying. Your show, right on, sister.
Well,
right
thank
on.
you. And that's what the guy in the giant eagle said to me, too. Great show,
damn,
Lynn,
were you good yesterday?
I don't even remember what we talked about, but yeah, good. Hey, thank you.
And you know what? Hey, I'm thankful for you. At Thanksgiving, I am very thankful for you, and I'm so thankful you brought your beautiful sister in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
And the rest of these assholes can go stick it up their asses.
Okay.
We're not. I'm not partaking. I'm just not going to partake in it. As I go put makeup on to go outside.
I understand. Bye.
Oh, jeez.
Bye.
I love you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
And why our 96-year-old mother still puts on lipstick to go to the pool and do her laps.
Well, because there was a guy sitting there.
Because a guy noticed her.
Right. All
Good as
right.
can be.
Well, Susan, you got to get on the road, or tell her.
I gotta pack the car. I gotta
heading to
pack
Green Bay.
the meal, and get on the road. Yes, and you.
I'm going to call my. Well, I'm going to call my.
Want you not
I'm calling
showing
my.
up.
No, I'm calling my asthma doc right after and making sure I've got all the. I'll bring my machine. I'll bring the. Yeah. So if I'm going to be sick, I'll just be sick there. Okay. But my chest is killing me. Okay. See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.
Bye. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye, Suze. And Ernie was quiet throughout that whole thing. Guys, I have to tell you, I really do think I'm not good. So I'm not gonna. I was gonna do tomorrow and then go, but let's give me the day off, if you don't mind. And I'll see you all on Monday. And have a good holiday. And if you have people in your family, who don't agree politically, don't bring it up, I guess. Okay. Good luck. Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.